Hey everyone, let me just do something real quick with the description and I'll be back. So let me mute this real quick. Hey to everybody coming in. Hello. All right, give me a second. Okay. All right, handled all of that. Got to make sure I put details in a description. Hey everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. um, from my last video, if you watched it, I did speak on doing a few videos. I did have like a schedule, meaning to do my videos every Wednesday, but I kind of also like to do what I want as well. So sometimes I'll just pop up spontaneously if I'm feeling a message, of course, so I can't possibly schedule everything. So yeah, I was definitely moved to speak on a few things today. So that's why I'm here. For those of you who also inquired about consultations, because I'm back into doing that, and I spoke about that in the last video, and I'll get more into that towards the end. But I do have a direct link to actually book appointments. So last time it was like, hey, Cash App, I'll email you. And so I basically put the website back up, and the website to book appointments is called Liberated Pen, liberatedpen.com. There's a lot behind the name itself, and I'll also talk about that towards the end as well. But that's definitely a 2023 vision and beyond. So I'm just kind of like just getting pregame for, just the whole liberated pen vision of what comes with that. So again, it's liberatedpen.com if you wanted to just speak with me. Other than that, hope you guys are doing well. And I just wanted to speak on a few things today. And as you can see in the title, it is called The Real Difference Between Lucifer and Satan. That has been coming up a lot, especially since the first video that I made a couple of weeks ago, that I kind of was going back and forth about being private about. A lot of you yell at me because you feel like, why the fuck do you keep making your videos private every time you make videos? And stop doing that. Every time you think that people are judging something, they're most likely not. They're most likely intrigued. So stop judging yourself. And I appreciate that. And you guys are right. So I put that video back up. It's public. But I kind of went in about like just the satanic energies, the misunderstandings. Got my wine here, even talked about the bar spirits and the alcohol and all of that, concerning like, people's participation or selective participation when it comes to satanic energy within itself, and the misunderstandings between the both entities, Lucifer and Satan, just in general, through the mythologies, not necessarily. I'm not going to speak on the mythologies. I'm going to speak from a very intuitive, common sense based point of view, based on what I know and what I feel and what I sense, and kind of take it from there. And all questions will definitely be more towards the end because I want to be able to focus. I'm drinking wine right now, and I just want to make sure that I am focused and I am on point with the message. But I do want to say hi to you guys. Yes, I'm making more videos. So where do I begin with this particular subject matter? There's so many places, but let's begin with what is most misunderstood. So we're going to talk about just the difference between Satan and Lucifer from a point of view of principle. Now, for those of you who come from a religious background, if you are offended by any wording of this the wording of the title itself, or just the speaking of the word of the name that you so-called rebuke, then this video is not for you. This video is more so for the progressive thinker, for the intuitive feeler, and for those who are not afraid to explore different realms, whether they have been afraid of these realms within themselves, whether they want to admit that these realms exist within themselves or not, or for those who actually are just quite interested and, again, are not afraid of the boogeyman that comes with these words called Satan and Lucifer. So if you're not afraid of the boogeyman, then cool, we're cool here. And this is gonna just bring a little bit of progression to the thought realm here. So especially if you're new to my channel. So now, when we're talking about Satan, or again, if you want to compare Satan to a planetary system, that would be Saturn, right? We've spoken about that like years ago on plenty of videos and mentioning that. But Satan, Saturn, the Saturnalian or the satanic energy is known as evil, right? Just with a broad stroke of perception, again, from the religious background, it is the evil one. It is the evil side of God. So if you are the highest of the high, the lightest of the light, I say Sky Daddy when I refer to the God that most people are pointing to as they point up. When you're referring to that level of God, or, in that way, the unseen force that creates everything, there's another pole to that particular entity, of course, which is Satan, the exact opposite of what that is. So if you think as God, your God that you're praising up to, as the goodest of the good and the great and the creator of all things, and the good one, because this is how we still speak when we're talking in language about energies that are all very intricate. It's not as simple as good and evil, but this is how we refer to these energies. So when we're talking about the good Sky Daddy, we're talking about bad Satan in hell. It's funny because people are telling me to watch The Sandman on Netflix, and I started watching a couple of episodes and I was intrigued, and then after a while I was just like, I can't. But I'm gonna continue watching it anyway. I can't take the talking bird. I can deal with everything else in the series. I like where it's going. I love the graphics. I love the main character. I love Morpheus and the King of Dreams. But the talking bird, I liked it much better when the bird was a telepathic, intuitive, what you call just his spirit animal, that saved him in the first. Anyway, so that's like my thing. Anyway, I'm watching that, and I saw that they had, there was a scene where Morpheus had to go to hell to speak with Lucifer himself. I stopped it right there because the bird was getting on my nerves. So I wasn't able to see the full descriptive dialogue between Lucifer and Morpheus. However, from my perspective, of course, the satanic realm is a level that absorbs everything. So it is a darkness. If we're talking about color on the spectrum, if we're talking about the color black, when we think of darkness, we're thinking of black. You think of the enveloping, all-encompassing, full color spectrum of everything. So when you mix all the colors together, you get black. So it is an absorbent of energy. Most people know this. When you talk about all things that are black, you wearing all black and so on, you are absorbing, you are attracting all energies around you into your space. So when we're thinking about the dark realms, the reason why it's seen as evil, for lack of a better term, or bad, or most people are afraid of these realms that are dark, is because it is all absorbing and all encompassing, which means that when you are in a space or you are talking about a level of entity that is able to collect everything and keep it, that's a lot of power just from the collection itself. So we're talking about with Saturn or Satan, we're talking about the collection of memory, which is has a lot to do with experiences, dreams, and time. So your timeline, your memory, the quote unquote junk DNA, 98% of that DNA within itself is in the satanic realm. So all of the things that you do not know, that you do not have access to, is accessible in the satanic realm only. It is nowhere else. So if you need to go to any kind of Akasha or any kind of Akashic record, because a lot of people like to dig into records, they like to do regressions and so on, which is understandable because it's our human curiosity to know things about ourselves that we don't know or that we've forgotten. You have to go into the satanic realm, whether you like it or not. That's just what it is. It resides there. So we're talking about record keeping, but not lightweight record keeping, not like where you see, in the mythology where, especially Egyptian mythology, you guys know that I'm more familiar with that. If we're talking about the record keeper, we're talking about an entity called Thoth, or the god of wisdom, Thoth or Tahuti, and he has the pen. He has the pen, right? And that is his symbol. And he is known as the record keeper. He has access to the records, but he's not the record keeper. He's not the entity that resides in the realm in which the records are kept, if you understand the difference between the two. But yes, Tahuti or Thoth, if you've read the Emerald Tablets, then you understand that his journey into gaining access to this realm was a journey indeed. He had to go through many initiations to even have access to what he has, as far as just accessing the realms of wisdom and being able to bring it to the light. And this is where we're going to get into the Luciferian energy. But let's just spend a little bit of time in the satanic energy and get people used to it, in that sense of being comfortable, not forcing anything, but being comfortable with saying these words, because a lot, again, there's a lot of fear surrounding these energies. A reason why there's also a lot of fear surrounding these energies is because any entity that absorbs or collects time records, dreams, and experiences has access to your secrets. All of your secrets, all of the things that you don't want people to know, all of the things that you are ashamed of, that you feel guilty about, all of the things that you've done, right? Everything. There's nothing hidden about who you are, what you've done, or any of your experiences when it comes to the satanic realm. And I'll let that sink in for a second as to why some people may be very, very afraid of it. I'm going to also stop right here and just say, again, welcome everyone, because I know people are still coming in and I'm kind of random sometimes with my posts. All links are also in a description. If you wanted to donate to any kind of Cash App, Venmo, PayPal for this conversation in general, if you're enjoying it, you can do that. Feel free to do that. And again, I also have a link for actual appointments and consultations for anyone that does want to have some type of conversation about specific things personally when it comes to the things that I like to talk about. And if there's something that resonates with you in your life with this and you wanted to proceed to have a longer conversation about it privately, I am open to that. So that link is also in the description below. So the satanic realm is the knower of all secrets. And to a lot of people, which is why a lot of the secret societies have been so controlling over that realm, or so secret, like the secret societies is called secret for a reason, is because they don't want there shouldn't just be anyone having access to these records, which I agree with. I'm not anti-secret society at all. There are certain things that people are not necessarily ready to have access to, which is why everything happens dimensionally or in layers. But if you get to the real layer of the all-encompassing part of the satanic realm, that's like a whole different level of initiation and connection that you have with your own darkness, though. Your own darkness. If you are so comfortable in your own darkness, you have full access to the realm of Satan. That is your inner Satan. That is all. So the all-knowing Sky Daddy or the Sky Father, who they say is all-knowing, even he has to go into his dark self called Satan to gain certain knowledges and access to his own power. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Sky Daddy and Satan, which are the same people or entities or essences, whatever you want to say, gods. And it's interesting because when we're talking about a coin, if you take out a coin, you can't, there's no such thing as a coin if it doesn't have two sides. And, you know, as much as you want the other side not to exist, possibly, it has to, or else there's no coin. Show me a one-sided coin. Okay, one side of it has etched, design to it and something on it. But if you flip it over, maybe it has nothing on the other side, but there's still another side. You cannot have a one-sided coin. It doesn't exist. So that's the thing between Sky Daddy and Satan, is that, you know, they're just two sides of one coin. So the higher up, the God that most people are safe with, there's always a conflicting energy between the two, because if that entity, and I'm speaking individually, if that entity within ourselves does not want to acknowledge the satanic part of themselves, then they separate themselves and they literally turn into two. And this is where bipolarism, like severe bipolarism, can come from. And that's only with two sides. If you're then splitting off from there because you're so afraid of that side, the bipolarism can turn into severe schizophrenia. Because now you're creating all kinds of characters just to be okay with yourself, because you don't want to say that that's you. You don't even want to touch it. That's just like, that's not me. So I can create a character of some sort that exists in my life somehow. And maybe I'm in conflict with this character, but it's not me. That's not me. And this is how we cope with a lot of our quote unquote darkness, inner darkness, our traumatic stuff that's happened, which is again residing in the satanic realm as well. So if there's a lot of that there, you don't want no parts of it. So it creates like that kind of experience in a person's psyche. If you are okay with all of the craziness that comes with yourself, that lies within the darkness and in the light, then you are an anomaly to the programming within the matrix. You're an anomaly. It's just like most people are not. They go but so far, which I'm going to bring up the Luciferian energy in a second. So if there's a depth to the satanic realm that people just have to be comfortable with within themselves and within others. A lot of even what you call, when people say, oh, there are people that worship the devil and they worship Lucifer and they worship Satan, and they're putting all of these people to get all of these entities together. Altogether, what I say is a commonality between these entities is that these entities, if they're preaching, because there are churches of Satan and there is a religion that supports the actual satanic realm. That I'm not religious. I just can connect to different parts of myself in a way where I'm not afraid. But certain people, they go into the religious part of it. And the thing about that is the main message or the commonality is individualism. they celebrate individualism and materialism and pleasure. The satanic realm or the satanic religions, if you read into it or something like that, if you get into that, you'll just understand that these motherfuckers just want to do what they want. And in a way of saying we can't just do anything we want, we know that there are rules and moralities. However, if there's someone that is deserving of my wrath, whether it's anger, whether it's feeling of hate, all of the other stuff that we just don't want to feel, those types of people that are on that side of the spectrum, they're okay with releasing their anger or their wrath to those deserving of it in their perspective. They're just like, it's impossible to be love to everyone, especially the people. It's a waste of time and energy to love another that does not deserve that energy coming from you. So sometimes a person actually deserves the cold shoulder, or a person actually deserves your angry expression. A person sometimes deserves you kind of like going on defense to protect a specific thing or a child or something. So we do that out of love for ourselves. So the more that we love ourselves, the more we may spew anger to another that is going against our love for ourselves. So that's kind of like a paradox that is misunderstood because people are so into good, bad, instead of just saying, sometimes I am bad as fuck to the other person because I love myself and this person is violating my space. So according to the laws of the quote unquote satanic realm, you have every right to express anger. And other religions of light, the other side of the coin, will say, no, that is still wrong. You shall not spew anger to your brother or sister or to your enemy. Love thy enemy, not yourself first. Love thy enemy first, and he or she shall be forgiven. And as you forgive he or she, you shall be forgiven for your anger, because you shouldn't be angry. That's a bad energy. So you see the difference between the two. And I'm not taking away from the lighter realm. I am just with the Luciferian energy, I guess, because again, we're going to transition into that. I'm shedding light on the dark realm to just bring it into some kind of like foundational understanding with people, because again, people are still like weird about it. So it's a very interesting dynamic when that comes into play, because we want materialistic things. We want to feel like individuals, and we want to feel good. And sometimes feeling good, if you go into the light realms of Sky Daddy, Sky Daddy, feeling good means being happy and being kind. And to the satanic realm, which we all go back and forth from, sometimes fucking yelling and cursing at a motherfucker and then like getting it all out and maybe possibly like getting over it. That shit felt good too. Sky Daddy, that felt good. That person kind of like, you know, some people are more anger based. I'm not. I don't really like using anger. I like to alchemize that and kind of like turn it into something that'll benefit me. But if I need to express that, I will. I wouldn't feel bad or ashamed of it. So another form of feeling good is levels of orgasm, sexual energies. Sky Daddy doesn't talk about sexual energies. The light realm does not talk about sex in that way. It's for procreation, it's for creation, but it's not for pleasure. Where in the Bible do you hear or even like read that your Father God allows you to feel pleasure through sex? They talk about the laws and the principle of your sexuality, you know, marriage and whatever old, whatever old systematic thing that wants to control your sexuality. They just talk about that part of it. And that's it. Like, this is what you do with your sex. And to some people who are not self-perceptive, because there's nothing wrong with having the structure around that. Again, I'm not anti that. But for those who are not easily perceptive of themselves, they'll have sex and they'll feel pleasure, and then it feels like they did something wrong because, you know, my job and duty, this is especially for like back in the day. Nowadays, sometimes you get that. There are some grown people that still feel bad about masturbation. They feel bad. They're just like, I spoke to a person the other day, grown ass motherfucker, grown ass person. And this person really expressed, because we were talking about religion, and all of a sudden we got into sex talk in a way of like religion and how it connects. And this person expressed that they have to ask God for forgiveness every day if they touch themselves and feel good from it. They didn't even want to say the word masturbation. And I was just like, are you serious? Like, this is bodily function. And I was just trying to explain. And this person was so embedded and this person was Catholic, or is Catholic. So in Catholic religion, this person was just like, no, I have to ask God for forgiveness every time. It doesn't feel right. I just feel like, you know, and it was just ridiculous to me, but this is a reality to this person. So that's the difference. So if you go into the darker realms of yourself, there's nothing and no one judging you based upon how good you felt by pleasuring yourself, whether with another person or yourself. So these are the differences. It's just a more liberating, individualistic perspective on how we feel about ourselves in the underworld of ourselves. And again, you can use that as chakra based if that's something you want to touch on, but like, no pun intended, but when you go below the heart chakra, that is hell. Earth is considered the heart because, and it's also the anagram of heart. Earth and heart are the quote unquote same. So they always claim that hell is underground and under earth, like underneath the underworld. What chakras are underneath your heart? That is hell. So if that's hell and you have Sky Daddy telling you through his son, who is giving you the laws and principles of this, if you have Sky Daddy telling you that you can't even go down there, if you do, you will burn forever. Well, the thing about hell, if you go underneath the heart chakra, when you get turned on sexually, it's hot, isn't it? Like, I'm just looking at things from common sense when it comes to biology, to the mental space, to the emotional space of all of this. That's hell. Hell is you're horny. You're horny. You're horny, so you're in hell. Okay, Sky Daddy, I guess I'm in hell for a little while. So that's the thing. So it's kind of like a stay away from there or you'll be damned to that space, which subconsciously tells the person, especially if they're being brainwashed from a child, like from childhood, of course, subconsciously, you're going to automatically feel that any sensation from the heart down, up top the belly button down, is bad because subconsciously your religion said so. Not even though your religion did not have to write in a doctrine that is talking about your body. To the religious space, it's talking about a place you go to. But we all know here, at least within this community, at this point in time, that everything reflects our bodies. So if you are afraid to go to hell, that means you are afraid of your own pleasure points, you're afraid of your own pain points. Because the same realm in which pleasure is created, pain is also created. We give birth down there too. Down there in hell, we give birth. You might as well say you were born in hell. Everyone was born in hell. Didn't they say that? Everyone was born of sin. Everyone was born through sin or born as a sinner. How is that possible? Oh, because you came through your mother's womb, your mother's sacral chakra, your mother's vagina. Down there, it is below the heart chakra. Therefore, you are damned because you were born down there. So it's just like, it just doesn't make any sense, but I understand the control factor that comes from all of these things. So, and if you guys are sending me cash apps and stuff, I can't even see the notifications. I lost my phone. I don't get my phone until Monday. I'm here all weekend without a phone. I don't know what's going on. I have no phone. It feels weird, but it also feels free. So if I'm getting notifications from any of the stuff, I appreciate the donations if you are sending them. I just can't see them right now in real time. I would have to check online on the computer. So if you are donating to Cash App or Venmo or anything in this present time, because I'm usually announcing the name, thank you. So yeah, so we're all born of that realm. So one thing I want to say before I get into the Luciferian side of things is that the direct polar opposite, if you want to even use the colors black and white to even visually represent higher God and lower God. And it's funny because the godly realm, higher godly realm, or the realm of white, doesn't even acknowledge the down below as God either, as if there's no creation going on down there. It's weird. It's just like, that's where all the creation is happening. There's mental creation, there's thought form, but then there's a descending of that thought form that turns physical. And it's a chicken and an egg conversation again, in a sense of like, well, does the environment influence my thought, or does my thought influence the environment? Or is it both? Is it interchangeable sometimes? If I go somewhere to a place and something's off about the environment, I'm going to start having these thoughts that's only going to confirm how I feel. So if I feel weird about an environment that I'm in, thoughts are going to become more enhancing to that feeling, and it's going to project out, and the environment is just going to become more weird for me. And eventually the result of that is probably me saying, I'm out. I'm going to leave. I'm going to exit this environment because I'm not really feeling it. If you feel good about an environment, the same thing. Thoughts happen and accumulate from the feeling of. So I keep on using the word feeling because thought and feeling are kind of, they go hand in hand too. So if you really want to understand why both are needed, it's because higher up, light realm is thought. Lower realm, dark realm, is feeling. And the question is, do you honor your feelings? And if you honor your feelings, aren't you thinking about how you're feeling? And sometimes it could be the opposite. You might have thoughts that then also influence your feelings. All of a sudden, these thoughts are just like, you're having these thoughts, you don't know where the thoughts are coming from, but you're having your thoughts. And then all of a sudden your mood changes, your feeling changes. And then now you're having an experience from your thought realm because now you feel a certain kind of way. So it's not about what's coming first. It's really about the collaboration between thought and feeling. So Sky Daddy and Satan, same thing. your thought, which wants to control everything. The thought realm is the controlling factor of everything in your life. What do I have to do? What do I have to plan? What do I have to structure? What do I have to strategize on? What intentions do I have? What do I think about this? What do I think about that? That's the godly, higher up, godly, heavenly side of you. But what happens is people don't allow the flow. So sometimes darker thoughts creep up to the godly realm. For some reason, the satanic realm somehow flows through and gets up there into your thought form. And you're just like, oh, some people are just like, oh my God, what kind of thoughts are these? How do I really feel about these thoughts? And you fight with the thought. It's a conflict now. So you go to war with your feeling. So if your thought is at war with how you feel, we're talking about being knocked way off balance. We're talking about possibly creating mental illness. We're talking about possibly creating depression when it could be unnecessary if you weren't in such conflict between your thought realm or your higher godly self versus your lower godly self. So we have to acknowledge the lower realm as godly too. And that's the conflict, because Sky Daddy, in religious term, not an individualistic term, but in religious term, Sky Daddy does not want to share space. He wants to be the God of all gods. That is it. And he wants to control the realm of which his secrets are kept. Because Sky Daddy has secrets. Sky Daddy is not the perfect all-knowing God. So the realm in which that keeps his secrets, he has to control. He has to manipulate others to stay away from his secrets. Therefore, Sky Daddy in these religions says, stay away from my secrets, stay away from what you want to know about me. Not because Sky Daddy is trying to protect you from being harmed by the darker realm of his other side. He's just like, mind your fucking business. And therefore, I'm going to create a religion telling you to mind your business by telling you to stay away. Stay away from my darker realm. It's bad. and people just don't like, they take it as a whole other external story, and it turns into a mess. So that's the difference, to the polar opposite as far as like Satan and God or Yahweh or whatever God's name is up there. God's name down there is Satan. He's a God too. Now, also recognizing that these energies are also supported by feminine energies. Now, the difference between Sky Daddy and Satan is that Satan actually supports the feminine side. Sky Daddy doesn't. You would think that I was anti-Sky Daddy, but I'm not, because I know that there's a specific purpose for this entity. I just don't necessarily want to go there. I don't want to live there. I don't want to live in heaven without the darkness. That doesn't make sense to me. That is called utopia. That is called the first description of humanity that got destroyed because it was all so perfect. I don't want to live there. Some people do. That's their goal. Like the Jehovah's Witnesses and so on, their goal is their entire life is dedicated to utopian living. Even in a New Age community, it's the same shit. You guys watch these people here sometimes on YouTube, you go to their events and shit, and New Age, and they're all just, it's the same shit. It's utopian religion. Feel good. And it's just like, yeah, I'm cool. I got crystals and weed And you know, we do moon rituals and so on, and we're into the other stuff, guys. And it's just like, no. The main goal for you motherfuckers is perfection. You cast away the demon, also the bad energy. Where's the crystal that I need? And I'm not, listen, I was in that space, which is why I'm able to speak freely into it now, because I've been there. So I'm just like, I needed the crystal too. Where's that fucking crystal that I need? Where's that crystal that I need to cast away the bad energy? I just need, where's my rose quartz and my fucking amethyst to make sure that all the energies around me are good? And it's just like, what? So basically, you want to use that entity of your tourmaline, because it is black, or the fucking onyx, or what are the other black crystals? You notice that all the black crystals are responsible for taking away the negative energy for you? You realize that? Like, all of the black crystals. You get a black crystal, and you should be good. It's going to absorb all of the stuff that you don't want. So basically, see, that's the problem. That's what people do with the satanic realm. You might as well say that you're carrying Satan. You might as well say that if you're carrying that black tourmaline, or that, what's that other black crystal? The other like popular one. It's not onyx. I don't know why I can't remember. I used to sell crystals and be into crystals too. Could somebody tell me what the other black crystal is? I am very curious, because maybe this entity needs to say something, because these crystals speak. These crystals have consciousness, and I think these black crystals are tired of you. Some of them are just like, some of the black tourmaline are just like, stop. Obsidian. Black obsidian, shungite, jet. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There we go. The black obsidian, that's a main one. So a lot of these tourmalines, these black obsidians, they have thoughts and feelings, and their job, because now you own them, they're your crystal. Their job is to absorb all of the negativity for you on your behalf, so that you don't have to deal with your shit. So you might as well say that you little black obsidian necklace or ring or stone that you have, or the fucking big one that you have in your house, is your slave. So we enslave Satan. Satan is locked up in chains in the Christian religion. You recognize that, right? Locked up in chains. What entity deserves to be locked up in chains, especially if it is supposed to exist? So it is the way you are treating this entity, because there's a magic that comes with being able to absorb energy for other people who can't handle certain energies, which is a beautiful thing. But there has to be a balance, and that balance is called accountability. We can't use the black tourmaline all the time to ward off negative spirits and energies and demons, and then go about our day and say, I'm good because my crystal is here. Your crystal is just like, fuck, I need to be cleansed. Yes, please. I've absorbed all of the bullshit. Actually, I'm absorbing all of your bullshit. It's a lie. I am not absorbing the environmental bullshit. I'm absorbing your fucking shadows, your bullshit, your guilt, your insecurities. And your crystals can actually work against you. That's satanic. Guys, that shit is satanic. To all the crystal lovers out there, to all of the new age motherfuckers, your crystal is satanic. That is a fractal of the energy within itself, because that is the job of a satanic entity, is to just fucking collect shit. Quite literally and figuratively, shit, waste. So do you know what happens when there's too much toxicity in an entity that needs to release it back? Can't alchemize it anymore. Why? Because balance is not there. If you guys understand alchemy, if the balance is not there, then the crystal or the little mini Satan is doing too much for you. So then it has to survive, because every sentient entity it goes into survival mode. So any entity that goes into survival mode says, take your shit back. You're not taking accountability. You're not even doing the work. You're just wearing this fucking crystal. You're wearing me around your neck. And you're doing dumb shit that you're not even fucking accountable for. So you know what? Now your crystal turns into a cursed crystal, because you're not taking care of yourself. Therefore, your crystal has to be the one to take care of you and your bad energy. So the crystal is just like, fuck this shit. You ain't cleansing me. You can dip me in salt water. You can put me under the moon. You can wash me in the fucking ocean. Don't none of this shit work, because I'm still alive. I have a consciousness. I'm sentient. You put me in some salt water, I'm still carrying your shit. The only way that I'm going to be cleansed and that we can actually help each other, I'm literally speaking for the Black crystals right now. The only way that I can help you is if you help yourself. If you know what to do with the quote unquote bad energies and people around you that you can't stand and you don't want to deal with, and that energy feels icky. Learn how to deal with these energies in real time. And then your crystal actually enhances that ability. Work with your crystal. Don't just use your fucking crystal. And people do that with people too, because there are certain people that are more adept to or more connected to those realms of darkness. So they like to have people like that around, just like crystals. I'm a part of that shit, and I'm sentient, and I'm just like, you're not using me to collect your shit, because you don't want anything to do with it. You know, shit turns into fertilizer too, right? It's not always waste. And because I know how to turn shit into fertilizer, I gotta be like your collector of bullshit? No. Your shit is garbage. You over there, I can deal with you because you got some good shit. You know when people say you got some good shit? You got good shit. That shit is fertilizer. You have bullshit. I don't want bullshit. I spew bullshit back at you. I spew bullshit back at the bullshitter. But if you got good shit, we can work together. That's kind of like how thrifting is created, or vintage, like all shit vintage. I respect the vintage collected stuff and people who like appreciate like just, you know, it's the same thing. It's just like, wow, somebody didn't want this. Somebody didn't want this shirt. Someone didn't want this fucking like bag. I paid this leather jacket I have here. I've had this leather jacket, real leather, soft leather jacket for like almost 7 years now. It's in great fucking quality. I paid like $20 for this fucking jacket. This is shit. This is like, oh, nobody wanted this. Somebody gave it away. So I got it now. And now it works for me. Like, I love this jacket. It's one of my favorite jackets. So I was able to take somebody else's shit and make it work in my favor. That's how we make the world go round. If we're talking about specific type of people who are able to connect to specific types of energies and entities better than others. Because not everybody can do shit like that. Not everybody can alchemize waste and bullshit and old stuff and, you know, all types of things. You know, they'll rather just pass it along. And this is where we talk about the Luciferian. This is where we get into Lucifer, because Lucifer don't want to deal with shit. Let me look in the comments, right, real quick. Black and white is narrative, not of colors. You're right. There's a story between the color black and the color white. That's alchemy. Now we don't want to talk about where the leather came from. Like, came from what? Where does leather come from? Cows. And let me just stop right there. I don't even want to get into that. People don't like negative people because it causes the negativity that they have within them to come up. That's true. That's called an agitator. I don't like agitators. Santara Martin, thank you for saying that. I understand wanting to stay away from certain types of people because they get on your nerves, because they're just not vibing with your personality, with you. They're bothering your spirit. To me, that's an agitator. That's not a bad energy, or that's not a dark energy. Dark energy and bad energy are not the same. We need to stop thinking that, like, oh my God, this person has bad energy, so therefore it's dark energy. It's just like, no, dark energy is beautiful. We come from dark energy. Quite literally, we come from the space that has no light in it at all. Like, it's dark as fuck. You go to the bottom of the ocean, where's the sunlight? Everything is ultraviolet at that point. There's no light. In some of the most beautiful places, there are no light. You look into space, right? The dark sky. What would you prefer to look at? If you were to look up from this earthly perspective and you look at the blue sky with the clouds and the sun, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, right? You look up to the sky, it's a beautiful day. There's a few clouds, they're puffy clouds and they're nice and white, and the sun is shining and I feel so warm. Okay. Or are you that person who's just like, if it's a really clear, dark night, I can see the moon illuminating, I can see the stars in the sky, I can look at the constellation, I can look at like the Milky Way galaxy fucking rip thing. I can look and see the beauty in like this night sky. It's a different kind of beauty. It's beautiful. The darkness is beautiful. Now, what is considered bad is agitation. If I look at the dark sky with all the stars and it's clear, the sky is not agitating me. It's making me feel a certain kind of way. It's getting me into my other state of being, which is the dream state. It's not agitating me. If I meet a person that is in tune with their darker self, meaning that they are balanced enough in themselves to love themselves wholeheartedly. I'm not perfect. Those are called authentic people. That's authenticity. That's the name of people like that. People who embrace their darkness are authentic motherfuckers. They don't care what you think about them. So they're authentic. I like that. That's a dark person. Let me and that person hang out then. Now, the Luciferian is a different story. The Luciferian is the clean, shiny motherfucker. Now, we all need that, though. I like to look good and nice. I like to like have my hair done. I put my makeup on and my outfits sometimes, and I like to like shine and be the beautiful one too. So we need that. The satanic energy doesn't care about that necessarily. The satanic energy cares about feeling good. Feeling good. That's it. I just want to feel good. You don't even have to think I look good. I just want to feel good and be good with myself and be good with everything dark about myself and about my wants and my needs. I can be selfish about that shit because this is what I want. You take it a few dimensions up because we're going up the spectrum from Satan. You take it a few spectrums up, then the Luciferian, Lucifer, the light bearer. I live in Hollywood now. I'm in Hollywood, California. And they say this is the place of the morning star. This is the place of the fallen angels, city of angels. Yeah, it pretty much is. Is that a good thing? Is that something to praise? Not if that's all there is. No. See, the thing about the satanic or the darker realm within itself is that you can create in that space. It is the space of the unknown. It is secret to you. And you get to use that inner Lucifer to bring it out and express it. So this is why we have music. This is why Lucifer is the god of music. Lucifer is the god of film, of anything that encaptures your need to be entertained or your need to want to feel something from sound, such as music. So if you want to go, the way to really express the true Luciferian spirit, first of all, I'm going to say this because, again, if you just joined my channel and you're just like, what is she talking about? You put out a PBA on, say, or APB, I don't know what they call it anymore. You say, oh my God, she worships the devil. Don't listen to Taryn. She's turned into a Satanist. Don't listen to her. She's a witch now. She's bad. Whatever. I don't care. All I'm saying right now is true Luciferian spirit. Everyone participates. Just like, again, if you go to the bar, spirits, the demons, the jinn are in the alcohol that you drink. It possesses you. So when you drink gin, when you drink whiskey, when you drink tequila, when you drink vodka, when you drink these different spirits, certain parts, the fermented part of the wine, of the grapes, you are ingesting a demonic energy from the satanic realm that is operating with your chemistry, your body chemistry, your inner demon. So you are drinking a spirit to intertwine with your inner demonic self. And something happens, and alchemy happens. You get drunk. And everybody's drunk is not the same for a reason, because my inner demons are not the same as your inner demons. So if I drink whiskey and I get drunk, and you drink whiskey and you get drunk, we are not going to be the same kind of drunk because I have a different inner demon than you. And we're drinking the same spirits. That's the demonic satanic realm. So if you are a Christian, if you are Catholic, if you are Muslim, if you are any of these fucking new age motherfuckers, and you like to drink and go to the bar and have an experience at the bar, you are participating in satanic ritual, in satanic whatever, whether you like it or not. If you don't want to do that, then stop drinking. I'll just say that for those people who like to be politically correct about everything, I'm going to be politically correct to you. I'm going to just say, stop going to the bar, stay home, or go to fucking Green Juice motherfuckers that play guitars and drink juices and fucking coffee and teas all day and all night. Go over there. Stay out of the satanic realm. Don't go to the bar. Next. So what I'm saying about Luciferian energy is that in order to project beauty from the darkness, Lucifer, the Lucifer inside of us, allows Satan to speak through Lucifer's fucking music, to speak through Pan, to speak through Lucifer's light show that we call movies and film. Models, movies, film, fashion. That is all Luciferian. That is the light show. That is the illusionary spirit. That is a spirit that knows how to turn shit into gold. You get it to gold by going into your satanic realm and coming out as Lucifer. Lucifer. What is it? Lucifer, dawn of the morning, right? With Kanye and Jay. They're gonna chase him out of her, right? So it's like it's a spirit that brings that expression out. Even if it speaks against itself, it's still an expression that is true and real, and that is music. So even the motherfuckers that sing in church, they sing gospel, they don't even realize that they're singing through Lucifer's voice. If you are the choir director, you are in the church singing in a fucking choir, you are Luciferian, dude. You're Lucifer. You're not of Jesus. Or guess what? The Jesus that you know, because Jesus that I know and the Jesus that is fucking Lucifer. Oh my. So then we might as well say Satan is dark daddy and Lucifer is the son of Satan. If we're talking about, and again, the male-female thing doesn't matter right now because we all carry and embody these spirits. So I'm saying he based upon the archetypical stuff. Lucifer could be a woman. They call her Lucy, right? Lucy, Lucifer. Lucifer can be a woman. Satan can be a woman. They call her Lily sometimes, or Lilith. So they have different interchangeable archetypical names, but they're still male and female. The only one that does not accept the female in the story as an equal is Sky Daddy. He does not have a woman. He is not projecting himself as a male female at all. He is him, H-I-M, and that is it. He has a son who is him. And Mary is the portal. Mary is the mother. That is all she could be. And if she is not a mother, helicopters, if she is not a mother, then she's nothing. She has no use, or she's a prostitute. There's always like these extreme thoughts about women and femininity when it comes from the upper realm of God. God himself does not respect women in their entire spectrum of femininity. He only respects mom. Sky Daddy has mommy issues. Sky Daddy, where the fuck did you come from though, too? Like, who are you? Oh, your thought and what you think about women is clear. You don't like women. You want to use women to bring your Luciferian spirit through called Jesus to spread the word of goodness. Fuck you. However, we need these energies, right? We all need to live together on this place called Earth. Anyway, so the darker realms are more balanced. Say you see the Baphomet, a goat head with titties, a man with titties, masculine, feminine, girl, boy, acceptance of both sides. It's very simple. These Christian motherfuckers look at that shit. Oh my God, look at that monstrous fucking statue. Look at that monster called the Baphomet. That monster called the Baphomet. Oh my God, the gargoyle, the demon. It's just like, no, it's an entity that says, hey, I'm both. I can interchange and go up or down or in or out. I can do whatever I want. So the Luciferian spirit is the same. The Luciferian spirit is just like, yeah, like I'm cool. Like I'm Jesus too. I can be Jesus sometimes, but that's not all that I am. But Jesus is taught by Sky Daddy not to accept me. So it's like Jesus is the good son and Lucifer is the bad son. But Lucifer is just like, I like to be a woman sometimes too. The fuck? Like I'm a woman, I'm a man, I do what I want, I sing, I fucking act, I write, I create illusions and beauty for people. I can trick people with shit. I can can create exciting experiences. That's called hospitality. That's called clubbing. That's called parties. That's called museums. That's called events and everything that social. So Lucifer is the social butterfly within yourself. Lucifer is the shining one, the one that shows up late at a party, at his or her own party, and just wants to be adorned by his fucking environment. So what? We all want that. Okay, Christian? Okay, Muslim? Who goes against shaitan, like whatever the fuck. Okay, do you want to show up feeling adorned and admired by people without being worshipped though? Like, it's like Sky Daddy and his son, they want to be worshipped with goodness and song and disciplines that make no sense, to only be one-sided. And that's the issue that I have with the upper realm and the lower realm, is that the lower realm is okay with both sides. The upper realm wants to fucking kill the lower realm. So they're very warlike. Jesus is war. Sky Daddy Yahweh is war. Satan and Lucifer is love and lust and pleasure. So if you want to sit up here and make videos or comments and shit and calling me a devil worshiper, fine. I guess I worship the devil. I worship a part of myself that likes to feel good and that wants other people to feel good. And I like to drink and I like to dance and I like to look good and I like to feel good. That's happiness to me. Now the thing is when you get into the manipulative spirit, that is not Satan. That is not Lucifer. Lucifer is just like, yo, do your own thing. Like, you look amazing. Did you like the movie? Do you like the album? Are you dancing to the DJ? Like, are you good? Lucifer's like, have a fucking drink. The fuck? Let's have a good time. Why are we fighting? The fuck? I don't want to fight. I want to fuck. I don't want to fight. I want to fuck. That's the difference. These motherfuckers up here, they want to fight. I don't even think they have sex. They want to kill the bottom part of the soul. They want to cut your body in half and control that part. So it's just like, so that's the war, but the war is one-sided because dark side of self, which is the bottom, just says, dude, like, what is your problem? What the fuck is your problem? Why are you hating so much on the fucking shining, beautiful one that accepts everything about him or herself? Why are you so jealous, Sky Daddy? Why are you holding Mother Mary hostage? Why are you sending your brainwashed son called Jesus to come fucking try to convert my fucking beauty and darkness? Leave me alone. That is my take on it. I was like, sometimes I keep saying that we need them, but do we? There's an age and a cycle and a time for all things, and they've had enough of the cycles. These motherfuckers up here, they've had enough. And they destroy everything with hyper technology, hyper utopian motherfucking spirit. They make everything boring and perfect, and they think that that's Luciferian. They say, I'm the shining one. I'm wearing my fucking light colors and my skin is nice and I'm doing yoga and I'm in shape. I am Lucifer. And it's just like, no, you're not. So all I'm saying is, That's like the difference. So when Lucifer and Satan work together within your body, within your mind, within your whole entire paradigm, you like yourself really, you love yourself a lot. You love yourself a lot. You're passionate, you're creative, you're dark and beautiful. You're not bad, but if you are bad, so like shit happens. We know how to alchemize the bad and turn it into it making good in the world. Like we are alchemy people. So it doesn't matter, bad or good doesn't matter in our world, because we know how to transform it into something beneficial for ourselves and for others. So there's this obsession with the upper realm of, you know, up here being better, heaven being better, white being better. That's where the racism things come. Racism is birthed from Sky Daddy's fucking like philosophy. Racism. Light is better, dark is bad. Light is good, dark is bad, white is good, black is bad. You know, it's like so it's all subconscious. It's all subconscious. Anyway, I know I could go off for a little while, but the reason why I wanted to bring this perspective in is because Lucifer and Satan Lucifer is just the expression, the dance expression, the voice expression, and the light show expression, the trickster, only because when you watch a movie, let's just say when you watch a movie, you know how long it took them to make that movie? Maybe 2, 3, 4 months. You know how much footage they have to go through to edit it down to maybe 2 hours? You know how much work goes into editing that much footage? That's Luciferian. Luciferian is the one that breaks things down into simplistic ways of expressing something that was once complicated. So you see the result. You go and see a 2-hour movie that they took 4 months to make, and you enjoy it. It's the expression of Satan, which has all of the footage. Satan is the satanic realm, or the dark realm underneath in that space is a space of, again, the 98% of self. It has all the footage. It has every footage. I don't know how many hours of footage that is, 4 months of shooting. Satan holds that shit. Satan is okay with the 4 months of shooting and all the fucking footage and the work and the time that it took to create that shit. Satan, the satanic realm, is just like, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you the time to do this shit. Shoot the fucking movie. Make the fucking song. Go in the studio as many times as you need. That's what Satan does. You know how many times from like back in the day, especially after 9/11, there were all these conspiracies about musicians, especially worshiping Satan. 666 666. The upside down pentagram, and oh my God, Drake is 6 God, and 6666. It's just like, oh, don't follow the music of these people. They always do this. They're one eye. They're Illuminati. Don't listen to their music. That's upper realm getting involved in creativity. So there was a whole fucking YouTube section, which I've watched. That's what actually got me started. I'm just like, shit, this shit is interesting. But I wasn't afraid of it. I wasn't like not listening to artists because of this. I was actually like, whoa, this shit is intriguing to me. Certain people respond differently. I didn't do this. I didn't like shy away from it. I actually was like, the fuck is this? And that's what got me into like occult knowledge. I was like, okay, well, they're saying this about the artist and the triangle, and you know, the ABC 1, 2, 3 of conspiracy with Illuminati, the triangle and the eye and the artist. And yeah, there is a pattern. Lady Gaga and Beyonce and Jay-Z and all of these artists are Illuminati. whoa, okay. What does that mean? I'm curious. I'm a curious spirit. I'm not a scared spirit. So that was like the thing. So that's all I'm saying, is that it's just the expression of the creativity that comes from the time that it took and the acceptance of time. So the satanic realm actually offers more time for you to do what you need to do. So Satan is also associated with death. Satan is like the Grim Reaper, death that knocks at your door. When death knocks on your door, Satan is basically sending a fucking motherfucker that's just to say, you're running out of time, quite literally. Like, I'm giving you time, you're doing nothing with this time. Death is now at your door, meaning that you're not doing anything with it. What are you going to, your inner Lucifer, what are you going to create out of all the time that I've given you? What are you doing that is purposeful? Because if you're not purposeful, then you got to get demoted as a human somehow and maybe still live, or fucking die. If you're not doing anything and you, and this is where they say, oh my God, people sold their soul to Satan and the devil in the music industry and in Hollywood. And it's just like, no. I understand that, because that happens too in a different way. I'm not speaking on that because I know that happens. That's a different pocket. I'm talking about the actual flow of creativity and what I'm speaking. It's the creative actually making a promise to the satanic realm and saying, thank you for giving me this time and this contract and this money. So therefore, I promise that I'm going to come out with at least 3 albums in the line of time that you've given me. Hail Satan. Oh my God. She or he sold their soul because they promised to make 3 albums to Satan. And it's just like, I think you meant time, because Satan is the god of time. If we're all these Greek gods and all of these fucking gods that rule over different parts of our lives, Satan is the god of time. So Satan gave you time. You promised time that you were going to use your time wisely and create something, then do it. And then they're just like, oh my God, well, this person died because they sold their soul to Satan and their contract was up. Yeah, then maybe you got to be careful with these energies, because they're actually real. If you promise time that you're going to do something and you don't, what happens? That realm is also realm of authority and, authority and discipline. Those astrology people, you guys know Saturn return. You guys talk about Saturn returns all the time. The Saturn return is just like, I'm here at your door. Is your project ready or not? And if it's not, and you have no plans, and I cannot give you an extension for life. So therefore, you might fucking die. Like, for real, you might die. And that's not my fault, because you said you were going to do this and you didn't. You wasted your fucking time. That's the discipline of that side. That's the other side. That's the evil side, I guess. The evil side that says, how are you wasting time that I gave you and you have nothing to show for it? This doesn't develop the balance that we need in the ecosystem. This is business. And people are just like, oh my God, selling of the soul. Now, there are people who sell out. That's the false Luciferian side. That's just like, I'm going to change my entire self to be this thing. So I'm not going to be myself. You sold your soul. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. You sold your soul. Yes, you did. You were one thing, and then you changed into something else non-organically, not through personality evolution, style evolution, or anything. You just said, I'm just going to be somebody else. I'm not going to be myself. I don't have any beef with California. I live here now, but I'm a New Yorker first. And what I will notice, and I say this to a bunch of Californians, I should say Hollywood-based Californians, not real LA motherfuckers that was born in LA, but like Hollywood industry Californians. There's a difference between a motherfucker that was born and raised in LA and a person that is California, right? So I'm talking about California people. There's a difference between how we operate in New York and how we operate here when we're talking about selling of the soul. I will never shift myself, my personality, or compromise my own moralities and integrity to get somewhere, to make it. I will take the long route. I would just be like, I don't need the shortcut. The shortcut. I don't need the shortcut. I don't need to fucking shift and change and be this thing here in LA to make it because this is what they require standard-wise. I'll just be like, well, if I don't make it into that door that I want to go into because I'm not wearing the thing, or my hair is not a certain way, or I don't look a certain way, or I'm not acting a specific kind of way, then that opportunity or that door is not for me. I'm not desperate. I will find the other door that accepts me for exactly who I am. That is the New Yorker in me. We are raised that way. Be your fucking self. Be authentic. In LA, on the industry side, sometimes it's just like, you know, people come here, and I don't even know if it's LA industry. I think it's people's perception that move here from other places, not from New York. And I'm being biased, but like other places from all over the globe, they come to LA to make it. And maybe they just think they have to do that. Maybe it's not even LA industry that requires that. Maybe it's just like they have this idea that they need to change and be something that they're not in order to get something. To me, that's selling of the soul. It's just like you're just ready to just give your entire being away just to get that part. Fine, I guess you got the part. Are you good now? You happy? You're a completely different person. Do you even know who you are anymore? To me, that's selling of the soul. And there are consequences that come with that. Someone said LA people are ambitious and inspiring, and they want to be a star. I guess so. The LA called me. That's why I'm here. Did you guys know, and I say this story, and I give this props to when I had the Liberation Code Academy out a couple of years ago. I had a member that was a part of it that that sent me a link to the documentary of a woman named Alice Guy. She actually has my last name. And I was like, because they were wondering if I was related to her. I was just like, no, I really don't know. But her name is Alice Guy, and she's a French woman, and she literally created Hollywood. She is the creator of Hollywood itself. Like, period, point blank. There's hands down, she created the entire concept of movie making. So I watched a documentary, and when she came to the US and she had her ideas for moving pictures, because she took pictures of nature at first, and then she started taking pictures of people, and she created moving pictures. She created moving pictures, not like cartoon, but like moving picture, non-cartoon, in a way that created the movie, what we call film. And she actually starred the first Black actors ever to be on film, ever. That comes from Alice Guy. So Alice Guy created Hollywood in New Jersey first. So the first Hollywood studio was in New Jersey on the East Coast. Hollywood was birthed on the East Coast. Hollywood, the studio versions, the industry versions of film, is an East Coaster spirit. I'm not taking it too far. That's a fact. Hollywood is an East Coast spirit. And then she got married, and her husband was more so into real estate and space and looking into things. And he transferred Hollywood from New Jersey to Los Angeles, California. So Los Angeles was where Hollywood moved to become what it is now. So that's amazing. I'm like, yo, East Coast moved to West Coast to make it. Still, that's like the story. So if you watch a documentary on Alice Guy or Alice Guy, because she was French, you'll see that. I was like, this is very interesting. Wow. I did not know that. I thought Hollywood was all, like, the industry of it was all California, and it's not. It started over there for a while too. It was on the East Coast for a while. So anyway, to wrap this up a little bit, I mean, I didn't really have this planned out and structured form, but this was pretty much what I wanted to express, is like really getting the difference in expressions out of the Luciferian spirit, the satanic spirit, to not be afraid of the buzzwords, to be okay with that inside of yourself. If you have a problem with the word Satan or the word Lucifer, you can change it to dark, to the darkness, the cosmic fucking being that you are. Like, it doesn't have to be those names or terms, but it is the bottom half of yourself that should be honored, and that should not be quote unquote demonized. You are a demon. You have the bottom part of yourself is demonic. There's you cannot change that unless you become sexless, unless you don't move your body for dance movement. You don't want no parts of pleasure down there. You don't want any parts of down there, then you're fucking paralyzed from the waist down if you choose upper only. Now, the jealousy that comes from upper to down is that air motherfuckers, upper, they get jealous of down here because down here does not need them. But up there, they need us. They can't operate without us, but we can actually operate without them. How is that possible? Well, the bottom side of ourselves, even when you look at the merman and the mermaid, and they have the fishtail and the upper is a human, the bottom half is sentient and can fill the top of themselves. We have that ability. We don't need the air motherfuckers to not even to make money. And that's why they think that they rule over, because they take over the bank systems, they take over money, they take over the technology. And I'm only talking shit to those who are in hyper control up there. Now, if that is your personality and you enjoy being in thought more, you're like Mother Teresa, you are none. You're like, listen, I'm dedicating my entire life to the light side of things. Congratulations and thank you. And we need more people like you. Yes. Thank you for not being controlling of, and thank you for allowing the space to be yourself in that light realm, because we love you. You're a beautiful spirit as well. Beautiful light being. To me, that's a real light being. You ever meet somebody that's like, they're innocent 100%. To me, true innocence comes from that space. It's not the controlling spirit. It's the spirit of the controller that takes over the innocence of true light that we call heaven. So the light of heaven, to me, would be that Mother Mary spirit that gets hidden. The only job she had was to have Jesus get tossed the fuck out. Bye. Thank you for having my begotten son, bitch, leave. So all I'm saying is, the lighter side has something to offer. This is the charity-based people that like just really, and you know what? And when we go into that space, because it's also Luciferian and satanic to help people. That's what I'm saying. It's the same shit. Just on, it's like two people can come from two different countries and literally just have similar common interests. It's kind of like that. But they have interest in helping people and making people feel good. If I help someone, and this is to me the real Jesus spirit, not the controlled, good son, I'm trying to impress my sky daddy father spirit. That motherfucker's a sellout. He's trying to impress his father. He's not really doing much. The real Jesus, the real Jesus, or Yeshua, who is the other side of the coin of Lucifer, is the one that feels good when he does a good deed. Anytime I do something good for someone, like just for no fucking reason, I actually feel good. It doesn't always have to be an orgasm or sexuality or pleasure and fucking alcohol. It can literally be in like, I gave this person what they needed. They didn't even have to ask me, or I helped this person in a certain way get what they need, and they did ask me, and I feel really good about it. It makes me feel good. That shit makes me feel good too. So that's all I'm saying is like, to me, that's like the flowing realm of the upper and the lower. But when we have these controllers that want to cut off sensuality, sexuality, femininity, and they still have they're still so weak that when they see power of swag, because that's really all it is, they're jealous of swaggy motherfuckers. And Mother Teresa up there can be a swaggy motherfucker too. Jesus can be a swagged out motherfucker. They're jealous of swag. They're jealous of the one who just has the juice, the creativity, that knows how to just flow in their fucking creativity and look good doing it. So that's why they have the face coverings. They want you to fucking cover your face, these religions. What happened in Iran with that woman for not wearing a face covering? I barely follow news stories. Someone had to tell me about that. Crazy that they treated her that way because they have morality police and these fucking men in Iran that just fucking like beat the shit out of her, put her in detention, and she had a fucking heart attack and died just for not wearing a mask or a covering. Morality police. That's the fucking controlling sky daddy following motherfuckers that I'm talking about. Then it is time for all of us to get together in the satanic, Luciferian, and light realm of Jesus and motherfucking Teresa or Mary, and give these motherfuckers need consequences for their actions. It's time for them to pay for their fucking karma. So of course they need to exist in the world. We can't get rid of them. They're actually the real evil. The sky motherfuckers that just, you're gonna like, you can't be sexual, you're a woman, shut the fuck up, let me cover you up, and this is your job. Like, those motherfuckers need to pay. It's actually time for them to pay. And that's the war. If there's gonna be war, that's the war. And I think there's more of us than them. Actually, it's like people just want to fucking chill and feel good, and here you come with your bullshit. Sauce and source, exactly, same word. So that's all I'm saying. So it's their turn. They're the minority. We're the actual majority, the ones who want to like just liberate themselves from all kinds, all chakras. Some people are more mind-based. Some people are more lower based. Some people are more heart-based, right? Some people, you know, they're the nurturing spirits that we also need. Some people are not good nurturers. Some people are selfish as fuck, but they have their place in the world and they're not fucking bothering anyone. They just are selfish as fuck. They're just like, I'm out for me first. And then those are the first motherfuckers that say, hey, if I'm on a plane and the rules are I have to put my mask on before I put one on you. That's how they justify the selfishness. Okay, fine. You got to do good before you do good for me. I get it. It's not that complicated. I get it. So we have all types of personalities that are developed in all realms. So this is what makes you the all-encompassing person. This is why I said we don't need them, because we fill up from the bottom, actually. What we're the wrong direction is us filling down from the top. Like thinking and accepting all of these codes and technologies and programming and allowing these programs to seep into the heart, which fucking controls it. And then it's kind of, the heart is a door. So it's kind of like these programs open up your door without permission, do programming and coding, and then they sneak into your bottom self, and then they fucking tweak and control shit. And it's just like, no, you have no permission to be in this part of me that actually makes me creative and who I am. No, you can't invade my space. So the invaders come from here down. So the reign of the air, the Aryan, usually they're colonizing the entire fucking body. But what's happening is kind of like Game of Thrones, where they were like rushing towards the wall. It's kind of like we need to plan, since they're fucking colonizing this way, we need to plan on coming up this way and meeting these motherfuckers. It's just like, you meet them, you're all powerful. They have no other power because they don't believe in demons. They rebuke demons. They hate themselves so much. They hate it. And we're not here to figure out why they do. They just do. Some people just hate themselves so much that they'll rather destroy the entire body and just be a walking fucking head instead of allowing the entire body to operate as one operational being. So I'm here to claim my entire fucking body. I'm just like, sky motherfuckers are not invading my space. I will bring it up from the darkness and fill up my own light, because I have light and I am light as well. And that's my message with this. And if it resonated with you, fine. There are ways to do this. I'm not claiming to be a shaman or anything, but I have my ways of doing this. And it's really like, I have to be my own walking testimony. I've lost myself. I've lost my soul. I had to find my soul. My soul literally left my body. I was basically dead for like a year, just in case you guys haven't noticed. I was like a fucking zombie for a reason, because I allowed sky motherfuckers to come into my entire space and take me over. Anyway, so this is what it is. I'm going to stop here with this conversation. If you guys enjoyed this conversation, again, you can send donations in the link below. If you want to have a consultation with me, what I am focused on right now is really speaking to people about their patterns of their dream state, to break the rules in their DNA that has them set up for failure. So a lot of people's DNA, as much as you try to be better in your life, there's always a blockage usually, because your DNA is written in stone in your coding to fail anyway. So there are ways to actually override that. That is true DNA repair to me. And it's always going back to your mom though. So you have to connect with your mom's womb in order to break the coding of the script that has you fucked up. So I talk about that. A lot of people do have parental issues, inner child issues, how they were raised, what's going on. They've become parents and they are kind of like in that situation. So I have one particular consultation dedicated to that. I have two options. I have another option where if you just want to talk about whatever, I don't know, that's like an hour consultation. You want to talk about Lucifer and Satan some more? Fine. You want to talk about what's going on in your life? Fine. I actually do have a degree in counseling and psychology. So I'm not just out here. However, I have my own way of doing things. So if you wanted to just simply talk, it's called, the link below is liberatedpen.com. And I'm going to end on that note with just what I have coming for 2023. What inspired Liberated Pen is that liberatedpen.com it's specifically dedicated to women that particular part of my journey. When I speak here, I'm speaking to everyone universally, but women have been at the point of when we come into a space of authority, and I spoke about this in the Amazon kind of thing that I made. When you think of Amazon woman, or you think about a woman that has authority over her own space, she's automatically placed in a space of being masculine. So she no longer falls into the space of being vulnerable, feminine, and girl-like anymore, because she doesn't fit that role based upon what was standardized in the societies of what women should be like and what authoritized women should be like. So you'll see a lot of women who are part of certain societies, sisterhoods, sororities, and so on. But once they gain a certain authority over themselves, there's an automatic need or an automatic redirection for them to change their essence. So for some reason, they become more masculine. They're seen as like lesbian-like if they're not, because they have authority over themselves. Men, and it's like a weird thing where they think that women who just want authority over their own mind, body, soul paradigm, that they don't like men anymore, that they want to be men. And when I say control, I'm talking about control in a way that does not make the woman feel good. There's a difference in the femininity where woman who, like, I'm a woman, I'm claiming my entire authority, mind, body, soul paradigm, all the way 100%. But I love being a woman. I love being feminine. I love being in a space where maybe I do want to be controlled by the right one sometimes, right? Maybe I do want to be submissive. Maybe I do want to surrender to a masculine energy that actually has my best interest in mind and that wants to make me feel good too. That's all I'm saying. So most women who are involved in these societies, because I'm an independent and I fucking got my fucking pen, I'm claiming my pen, and pen does not mean writer. Fuck that shit. I'm not writing a book. I don't need to write a book to claim my fucking soul of being a fucking author. No, I'm an author in my life. And there are ways to claim your pen, your magic wand. That is, the pen is associated with the penis. Women don't have pens. The fuck? Oh, I got like 12% left on this computer, so I got to end this anyway. Like tomboys, exactly. Women don't have penises. They don't have penises. Therefore, why the fuck should they have a pen? So when I'm talking about the old occult way, you always need a man or a male figure to be the head of your life. Literally and figuratively, to take over your fucking mind and control your way of doing things. So that handler spirit, it's a fucking handling spirit. Your handler can be your father, your brother, your fucking friend, your childhood friend, your uncle, like whoever the fuck, somebody, your grandfather. You have most women in the space of the knowing space and the progression space, they have handlers, your husband, your boyfriend, somebody is handling you. And a lot of women want to get away from that shit, and they can't, because if they do, there are consequences to that. This is the thing about being a part of certain pledges that you've made to certain societies. I'm here to say, don't be afraid to break the fucking pledges at this point in the game. Fuck you. If you don't agree with your pledges because you pledged in whatever society 12 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 30 years ago, and it's not agreeing with your spirit, get the fuck out. Leave. How do you leave something as controlling as that if you have nowhere else to go? This is where I come in. I guess this is why I'm coming back. I'm creating a fucking space because I can do that shit. I am a self-made independent person that has gained her authority in her own rights. And I feel that's inspiring to some women who were born in families and cults and religions that required them to be under the head or to have a head on their fucking soul when they don't even need that shit anymore. They know what they like. They know what they want. They want to rewrite their own timelines. So the thing about that is when you have some man, not even in your family, like you could be tossed around and traded by motherfuckers. Somebody else is your handler. You don't even fucking know who they are. If you want to break that spell, because it is a spell, you can. There are ways to break the fucking spell, but you have to be okay with breaking the rules and not being afraid of what they're going to do. And really claim your power. And this is a woman thing. Because all men and boys have pens. Women have to go through them to get them. And sometimes the spirit of that man does not agree with the woman's need and want to be feminine. So if a woman is with a man, let's just say he's her head, stupid. He's her head. And she wants to do things, and through his masonry, she can't. Like, she literally can't. Nothing in her life will go right when she wants to try to do what she wants to do. And that's the fear. It's just like, if I try to do what I want to do, I might lose my job. Something might happen to someone in my family because the man that is my head has written it in my fucking timeline. So a lot of these women are trapped. They're trapped in their old ass paradigm motherfucking men of whatever families, whatever cult, and they can't get out. They can't get out. So I'm creating a space for women who really just want to do their thing and be beautiful in doing it though. Like, you can be a beautiful, intelligent woman that has authority because you are aware enough to have the certain authorities over your own life. Be with a man that actually appreciates a woman like you. Like, oh shit, she has her own mind and she's sexy as fuck. That's what I'm talking about. I want to create a space for that. So the liberated pen is for the liberation of women and gaining penises without having one, so that we can actually just be who we want to be who we've always wanted to be, because it's time. It's time. So that's the thing. So I'm going to put a button on my website to just subscribe to the fucking website so I have your email if you are interested in like what I have to come in 2023, because I'm really developing this. I was just like, if I got to be passionate about something, it has to be something that I have gone through and actually progressed through in order to bring it back and help others who are kind of going through the same thing. And that's usually how things are created. So yeah, my computer's about to die. I got to recharge it. But I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, all links for any kind of donations, contributions, or just consultations that you want to book, that's in the description. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you soon, most likely next Wednesday. So again, enjoy.